HOA story time. Unit flooded with sewage. Am I screwed? I'm a student working part-time. I currently only make enough to pay my mortgage and eat. I own a small condo. About 350 square feet of my condo was affected by sewage backup. This included my HVAC furnace, repair still ongoing but does not need to be replaced, bathroom vanity, washer and dryer, didn't need to be replaced, 2 closet doors, the bathroom door, and the bottom kitchen cabinets. About 30 square feet of porcelain tile was replaced in the bathroom, and about 300 square feet of LVP flooring was replaced. I do not know the cost of repairs because all vendors went through the management company. What happened was, my condo unit flooded with sewage backup after the association used a plumber who removed my toilet to access a clog. He was unable to get to the clog and told me that he'd return in 2 days with a camera. The plumber then reseated the toilet without using a new rubber plug thing. The emergency plumber who came after told me that this led to the flooding. I flooded with sewage as my neighbor ran their shower. I took no pictures because I was attempting to contain the water and was also banging on my neighbor's door to try to get her to stop running her bath. There's an email from the management company in which they state that the annual rotting had not happened. I believe I would have not flooded had they kept up with scheduled maintenance. The affected pipe is a common element. The management company told me that the association would cover the cost of repairs to my unit and scheduled with the company. Most of the work is complete. I received no estimates and did not choose contractors. Everything went to the management company and the board. Last week, the management company told me that the association's insurance will cover the cost of the plumber, the drywall, and the primer for the drywall. I'm responsible for everything else, the tear up, the cleanup, flooring, bathroom tiles, the bathroom vanity, paint and doors, and so on. I don't have a sewage backup policy with my insurance, so I'm out of luck on that end. I'd specifically asked about coverage many times before agreeing to let anyone work on my unit, and they told me their insurance would pay. I got a lawyer friend to help me draft a letter presenting a timeline of events. She is not experienced in housing. I sent the letter via email as a draft stating that I wanted a resolution and not legal action. They responded with a formal letter from their attorney. The attorney points out that my declaration states that each unit owner waives and releases all claims that they might have against the association. I was told by the association's lawyer that regardless of why the flood happened, I am responsible for what their insurance does not cover. Is that true? My insurance agent suggested that I make a claim onto the association's policy against their claim presenting the email in which they admit not completing the annual rotting. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this based on the part of the declaration mentioned above. I'm also worried that I'll have to pay for the fee for the lawyer that the association used to relay information via a letter. I live in Illinois. I'm a student and currently working part-time and I don't have much money. The declaration and bylaws are unclear. My bathtub had been backing up a little bit when the other units were using water. This is what prompted calling the plumber. I had not noticed any toilet backup at all. Only a sound, like bubbling, when my bathtub was running. Plumbers flushed it several consecutive times when they arrived to check. No problem. It flushed normally. And they removed the toilet because they could not locate the clog and thought the toilet was closer to it. The first plumber rotted over 70 feet and could not locate the clog. They reseated the toilet and told me that they'd return in 2 days. They told me to be mindful of water use, to limit my showers, quick hand washing, no laundry or dishwasher. When my upstairs neighbor ran her water, sewage flowed out from below the toilet, causing the flooding. There was no backup in my bathtub that time. Does anyone know if this is the case? Any guidance on what to do? I'm considering going after the first plumber's insurance, but don't know if I can without pics or anything. I had asked the management company to do this multiple times in writing when the situation happened. Their lawyer just told me that it'd be my responsibility to pursue this. I have no plumber notes or contact info. I need to figure everything out. Am I financially screwed? I think what most people want to say is to have your own lawyer and not rely on the HOA that is not going to have your best interest in mind. They're going to cover their butts, not yours. Oh my goodness, what would have you done? Upstairs neighbors' normal living noises, making it impossible to live normally. I recently moved into a 3rd floor rental. We don't hear our downstairs neighbors, nor the ones that we share a wall with, but our upstairs neighbors are making our lives terrible. The first 2 weeks were amazingly quiet, only soft footsteps here and there. Then, our upstairs neighbors, a younger couple, had what we thought was a party. tons of banging and stomping and the dog running and so on. It was a weekend, so we didn't think much of it, but it continued throughout the night with the noise throughout the whole apartment, including the bedroom, making it impossible to sleep. Annoying, but a one-off, we thought. The next day, the same thing starting at 5:30 a.m. and consistently throughout the day. Running and banging, thumping and vacuuming, moving furniture, enough to shake our apartment. We decided to leave a friendly note saying that we had just moved in and, as politely as possible, asking them to keep their noises to a minimum during quiet hours. Just a note, our lease doesn't have quiet hours, but our city has a quiet ordinance from 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. They were apologetic. They let us know they just returned from vacation and gave us souvenirs. The next day, the noise was minimal. We felt bad for bringing it up. Until the day after, it started again. It hasn't stopped since, and it's been over 2 months now. From 5:30 a.m. to about 11 p.m., there's hardly more than 20 minutes of quiet of any kind. Their dog gallops the length of the unit, including the bedroom, for hours until they wake up. And then it continues running all day. It shakes our unit. Plus, there's thumping. What could anyone be throwing onto the floor so regularly? Stomping, they often wear shoes inside too. Moving furniture, they're either moving their bed daily or have some kind of underbed storage. Slamming doors, vacuuming multiple times a day, multiple times a week on hardwood, and so on. We get that it's normal living noises, but it's bad enough that we've had to take light bulbs out of fixtures due to rattling, have had to pause movies due to the volume of the noise. We couldn't hear our TV over there banging and didn't want to be the butts ourselves by raising the volume, and have had work meetings interrupted with the noise being picked up on Zoom. Not to mention sleeping, I wake up at 4:30 a.m., which means I go to sleep fairly early. Every night, I'm jolted awake by their thumping and banging when they go to bed. It's given me panic attacks. I've just given up on trying and wait for them to go to bed before I do, which means I'm getting around 4 or 5 hours of sleep. And it sucks. We've tried banging on the ceiling when it gets too much. I've tried noise-canceling headphones, but I can still hear and feel the banging, which is almost worse than the noise itself. The units are condos, and they own theirs. We rent. We have no property management company, and our landlord can't do anything. Annoyingly, we specifically asked about noise when viewing the unit, and they told us that they never hear the upstairs neighbors. Moving isn't an option, and we have over a year on our lease. At this point, we can't help but wonder if they're doing this maliciously, though we can't understand why. We hardly walk around during the day, and if we do, we like to walk outside, listen to music through headphones, and keep our TV volume low. We work, we eat, we hang out on the couch, we try to sleep. I just don't understand how two people can generate this much noise. Footsteps, even their stomping that shakes our unit, are understandable, but the constant banging and thumping of stuff on the floor is so baffling. They can live their lives however they want, but how much of a selfish butt do you have to be to make no effort at all to make the lives of the people around you more comfortable, especially when a solution can be something as simple as walk softer? Not only does the noise, hearing, and feeling it cause anxiety, but we're to the point where the anticipation of it is just as bad. I'm sick of not getting enough sleep, of daily panic attacks. I just want an hour of quiet, and I can't get that. I wish you could go to your landlord or something. I wish you could go to a lawyer or something. There's got to be something you can do, but it's tough. I'm kind of at a loss here of what to think. What do you think? Neighbor's daughter is taking advantage of my kindness, and now I want to move, with an update from what OP said they're going to do next. I, a 34-year-old female, have been in my apartment for about a decade now, and although there aren't any fancy amenities or updates done to the units, other than a random superficial decoration every few years, I'm super happy in my space. Plus, it's a 2-bed, 1.5 bath for under $900 a month in a good neighborhood, which is unreal. Through the years, neighbors have come and gone, but I haven't had any bad interactions with any of them. My neighbor to the left of me moved in a few years after I did, and we've always been cordial. He's an older man and shares the unit with his teenage daughter, who's 19, her 1-year-old, and her live-in boyfriend, who's probably like 20 or something. Everything's been indifferently friendly between us, until last year. December 2022. I hear heavy pounding on my front door. I open it, and it's my neighbor's daughter having a full-blown hyperventilating panic attack. Basically, the entire day is spent not only seeing her through her crisis, including taking her to the hospital and watching her baby and the boyfriend, but also mediating and talking her through the subsequent fight that her and the boyfriend got into later that day. After that, they're a little more friendly, saying hi whenever they see me, offering to take my trash to the dumpster for me, not anything over the top, but just more interested. Starting in October of this year, the daughter starts asking small things of me, asking if I have a charger block that she can borrow, if I could help her carry something to the dumpster. Very small things. One day, she knocks on the door and says the power in their apartment is out and she wants to ask if I can heat up a bottle for her baby and make herself some ramen. Well, I didn't really mind at the time, so, I let her in. She did what she needed to do and then left. The next day, she asked to plug her phone in to let it charge. Again, I oblige. She does her thing and then just leaves. A few days later, she knocks on the door and asks for a ride to the store. I say, yeah, sure, since I was leaving the house anyway, but as we're on the way, she adds in an extra detail that she wants to go to a specific location, not just the closest one. We're already out, so I say, yeah, sure, and how lucky for her that she meets up with someone at that specific location that has something for her baby. It's pretty suspicious, but I let it slide. On the way back to the apartment, she's telling me how she's trying to better herself for the baby and that her dad will buy cars and take his girlfriends out on dates, but not pay the utilities, not take her or her baby to appointments, and generally just doesn't support her at all. She tells me how much she doesn't like asking for help and it's hard for her to reach out to people. It hits close to home because, same honestly, so I give her my number and tell her that if she needs something and absolutely can't find anyone else, and I'm not busy, I try to help out the best way that I could. Since then, she's asked for money to cut the lights back on one occasion, $30 that she claimed she'd pay back with interest, but never did. On another occasion, $20 that I didn't give her. A ride to the gas station where she paid over twice that amount for vapes for herself and her boyfriend, a ride to pick up her boyfriend at 10 o'clock at night, a ride to take her boyfriend to work, non-slip shoes for a job that she just got, money for the shoes when I said I didn't have those kinds of shoes. Food for the baby, and some other small things here and there. She does have an extended support system. Her mom is in the picture, as is her sister and brother. I know because I've seen them and she's talked about them. But she seems to be skipping over those people to come directly to me for things. I'm now regretting helping her at all, but I feel stuck since I did extend my assistance, albeit with qualifiers. And because I'm too chicken crap to tell her to stop asking me for stuff, I'm searching for a new place to live, knowing that I'll never find the deal on rent that I'm currently getting. I could be overreacting, I'm fully aware. This could very well be a get off of my lawn situation, but dang it, I'm tired of playing mom to basically two grown butt people with a freaking baby. Is there a gentle way of telling her to leave me alone, or should I continue the apartment hunt and get the heck out of here? The update. You guys were tough and fair, and most importantly, 100% right. I'm not going to let a child push me out of my home. Since posting this and reading your suggestions, I've been texted and called by her several times. I let the calls go to voicemail and put my phone on Do Not Disturb. She asked me for money and I told her that I didn't have it. No extra explanation. She's now texting me asking to use my phone to call her child's doctor at 5 o'clock p.m. Yeah, okay. I'll be in meetings for the rest of the night. I think I didn't want to flat out tell her no because the bleeding heart that I am don't want to be just another person who's let her down. But you guys are spot on. She is not my responsibility. If I keep letting her use me, I'll end up adopting her, the baby daddy, and the baby. Yeah, there's a difference between helping somebody and then they see that and then continually take advantage of you, because once that cycle starts, you gotta nip it in the bud and make it stop. Ideally sooner than later. You ever been in this one? Let me know. Sue HOA Karen. She tows me and builds on my land, but I'm not in the HOA. Click the video on your screen to find out what happens to nasty HOA Karen, and I'll see you there.